So let's get started in a comfortable seated position. And if sitting cross-legged is too much for you, you can always sit on your knees as well. And we'll start just by closing the eyes. Hands on our knees. And just taking a moment to settle into this practice. Feeling the ground beneath you as it supports you. And feeling your sit bones grounded. Relaxing your shoulders, allowing them to come down away from your ears. And taking this time to focus on your mind and your body, your breath and your movements, and to let go of any worries or any thoughts. A few more breaths here, maybe setting an intention for this practice today. And either keeping the eyes closed or softly opening them. We'll start with some neck circles. So either going from ear to ear or going full circles. Whatever feels best for you. And then pausing in the center and going the opposite direction. And back to center. We'll inhale our arms up and overhead. Exhale, twist to the right, dropping your right hand at the base of your spine, the left hand at your right knee, and just twist, gazing over that right shoulder, elongating your spine, and dropping your shoulders back. Inhaling back to center, twist towards your left, gazing over that left shoulder. Inhaling back to center, release your hands down by your side, and we'll do some hip cradling. So picking up your right leg and foot, hugging it close towards your chest, and maybe you just swing it back and forth, opening up that right hip. You'll have a slight round of the spine here. And then you can exhale, release. We'll pick up the left leg and same thing, maybe hugging it in close, maybe swaying from side to side, whatever feels good for you and your practice today. And you can slowly release, maybe crossing your legs again. We'll inhale, our arms up, overhead. Exhale to fold. Walking your fingers out. And then walk them over towards the right, keeping both sit bones grounded. And we'll walk the right hand in line with the right hip. And then inhale that left arm up and over. Maybe you come down on your forearm, but try to keep both sit bones rooted. And you can release, coming back to center, walking your hands over towards the left side. And then walking that left hand in line with the left hip, we'll swing the right arm up and over for a little side body stretch. Exhale, release. Coming back to center, we'll come onto all fours in a tabletop position, bringing the hands directly under the shoulders, your knees under your hips, and then we'll inhale to cow, dropping the belly, raising the gaze, and exhaling to cat, rounding the spine, tucking the chin, inhaling to cow, exhaling to cat, inhaling cow, and exhaling cat. And then you can come back to a neutral spine. We'll tuck the toes and lift up into your downward facing dog. You're welcome to have the knees bent a lot here. Maybe pedal out the feet. Or maybe stand in stillness. Spreading your fingers wide. Your chest drifting towards your thighs. And your heels towards the ground. And you can come high to your toes, bend your knees, and slowly start to walk your feet to meet your hands in a forward fold. You're welcome to have the knees bent a lot here, or straight. We'll grab opposite elbows and just rock from side to side like a rag doll. Maybe pedaling out your feet, your legs. And then releasing the hands to the ground. We'll inhale to a flat back. Exhale to fold. Interlace your hands behind your head. And then slowly tucking your chin, start to roll up to standing. Releasing your head last. Releasing your hands. And maybe closing your eyes for a moment and just taking a moment in Tadasana. Maybe rocking from your heels to your toes, feeling all four corners of your feet grounded. We'll inhale our arms up, reach for the sky. Exhale to fold, inhaling to a flat back, and then exhaling, we're going to go into a plank position, and you're welcome to drop your knees here or stay in plank, lower down to a low push-up, inhaling to an upward dog or a cobra, exhaling to a downward facing dog. Staying here for a few deep breaths. We'll come high to the toes, bend the knees, look forward, make your way to the front of the mat, meeting in a forward fold. We'll inhale to a flat back, and then exhale to fold. Again, we'll interlace our hands behind our head and slowly start to roll up to standing, releasing your head last, releasing your arms, and then inhaling the arms up to the sky. Exhale to fold, inhaling to a flat back, and then exhaling, making your way through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. We'll inhale that right leg up, bend the knee, step it between the hands, and come into your high crescent lunge. Inhaling your arms up, and overhead, gazing between your fingertips. We'll open the left arm out to the back of the mat. If you feel okay, your gaze can go towards those back fingers. If not, just keep them towards the front. And you're welcome to drop your back knee here if it's too much. And then we'll open up to Warrior Two, dropping that left foot down, gazing over your right fingertips, having a slight tuck of the tailbone, and then being sure not to collapse in this front knee. We'll inhale, flip the palm, come into Reverse Warrior, keeping the bend in that right knee. And then you can come into your side angle, inhaling that left arm up, dropping the right arm to the thigh. Or you can bring your peace fingers down to the ground. Or if you want to take a bind, you can bring that right hand underneath and the left arm behind the spine, gazing towards the sky, wherever you feel comfortable today. And then we'll release both hands to the ground. We'll walk that right foot so it comes parallel with the left foot, meeting in a wide-legged forward fold. And if you want, you can interlace your fingers behind your back, allowing gravity to take your hands. And then you can slowly release your hands to the ground. We'll start to walk towards that left foot, framing the left foot and turning both feet to face the back of the mat. And then inhaling to your crescent lunge. Always having the option to drop that back knee down, being sure that your knee is directly over your ankle. And then open this right arm to the back of the room. Maybe your gaze follows. And then we'll open up to Warrior Two, dropping that back foot down, gazing over your left fingertips, readjusting as necessary. And then flipping the front palm, coming into Reverse Warrior, keeping the bend in that left knee. And coming into your side angle of choice, inhaling that right arm up. Again, maybe dropping the peace fingers down, or maybe doing the bind. And we'll release our hands to the ground, coming back into that wide-legged forward fold. Maybe keeping the hands under your shoulders, maybe grabbing your ankles or your big toes. Or if you want to take the same route with the hands behind the back, you can do that as well. Whatever feels good for you. And then bring your hands under your shoulders. We'll inhale to a flat back, exhale to fold, and then we'll start to walk our hands back to the front of our mat, stepping back in plank, lowering down to your low push-up, inhaling to your upward dog or cobra, exhaling to your downward facing dog. Taking a few breaths here. We'll come high to the toes, bend the knees, look forward, and step or hop to the front of your mat. We'll inhale to a flat back. Exhale to fold. And then inhale, root to rise, all the way up, palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, taking a resting breath in Tadasana. Inhale your arms up to the sky. Exhale to fold. We'll inhale to a flat back. And then exhale, make your way through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. You can come high to your toes, bend your knees, and we'll step both feet to the outsides of our hands, coming into Malasana, a yogi squat. So you can bring your hands to heart center, your elbows on the insides of your knees, relaxing your shoulders, and activating your glutes. From here, you can either stay in the squat position or you can come into crow pose. So bringing your knees to your tricep, maybe lifting one leg, maybe lifting two legs. And then slowly making your way back down to that yogi squat, bringing your hands to heart center. And we'll drop the right hand to the ground. Inhale that left arm up towards the sky. Exhale, releasing the left hand down to the floor. Inhaling the right arm up towards the sky. And you can slowly release the right hand. We'll straighten our legs and then heel toe your feet all the way in to touch, maybe a slight opening from the heels. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale to fold. From here we're going to inhale to chair pose, so inhale your arms up, sitting back in your chair, being sure that you can see your toes. And we're going to take the right arm underneath the left. You can either bring your hands to your shoulders like you're hugging yourself, or you can wrap your hands around so your palms come together for eagle pose. And then we'll come to high to the toes on the right foot, swing it around the left leg, and your toes can either stay grounded or you can wrap them right around, dropping your shoulders and gazing past your fingertips. From here you can release your hands, start to come up to standing, and we're going to hold that right knee up, flexing your toes, and then bring your hands to heart center, and we're going to come into warrior three. So extending that right leg back, forming a T with your body, and trying to keep your hips square. You can drop the hands to the ground, and we'll come into a standing half split. So keeping the right leg raised high, and then bending the knee, stepping the right foot to meet the left foot in a forward fold. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhaling to fold. And we'll inhale our arms all the way up, palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center, taking a resting breath. From here we'll come into tree pose. So you can either bring your heel just on top of your calf, or you can bring your foot all the way up onto your thigh, avoiding your knee. Maybe your hands come to heart center, or maybe you raise them to the sky, growing your branches. Feeling strong and stable in that left leg. And then slowly releasing the right leg, shaking out the legs. And from the same side, we'll come into dancer's pose. So we'll take the right hand out like we're holding a plate of dishes, bend the right knee, and then reach back and grab that right foot, pulling the knees back together. You can stay here, or you can extend the left arm. Maybe you start to kick back into that right hand, gazing past your fingertips. And you can slowly start to come out the same way you came in. Maybe shake out the legs. And then we'll inhale our hands up towards the sky. Exhale to fold. Inhaling to a flat back. And exhaling to fold. And then we'll inhale to that chair pose. Arms up, overhead. This time the left arm will come underneath the right arm. Either grab your shoulders, or you can bring the palms to touch. And then come to your left toes, swinging it around that right leg. Maybe sitting a little deeper. Breathing into the pose. We'll unwind our hands, start to come up, holding that left knee up. Bring your hands to heart center, and then you can slowly start to come into warrior three, extending that left leg long, coming into that T-shaped position. And then releasing your hands to the ground. We'll come into that standing split. You can bend the knee, release the left foot to meet the right foot. We'll inhale to a flat back. Exhale to fold. And then inhale, root to rise, all the way up. Palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Taking a moment, maybe walking out the legs. And then we'll come into that tree pose on the left side. So grounding that right foot, bringing the left foot to your thigh or somewhere's on your leg, avoiding your kneecap. Maybe your hands come to heart center, where you grow out your branches. Maybe your eyes are soft. Your shoulders are relaxed. And then you can slowly release that left leg. Release your hands. Maybe shake out the legs if you need to. And then we'll come into that dancer's pose on the left side. So bringing your left hand out like you're holding a plate of dishes, bending the left knee, and then grabbing the inside of that that foot. Extending your right hand, and maybe kicking back into that left hand. come out the same way you came in. Maybe pedal out the feet. And then we'll inhale our arms over our head. Exhale to fold. Inhaling to a flat back. And then exhaling, making your way through your flow, meeting in a downward facing dog. Always having the option to take child's pose if you need it. We'll inhale that right leg up, bend the knee and step it to the outside of your right hand. We'll drop the left knee down, coming into lizard's pose. You can either stay on your hands here, maybe come down to your forearms, but make sure you're releasing your shoulders from your ears and your chest is open. And then maybe you open up that right hip by placing your right hand on your thigh and coming to the pinky toe edge of that foot. Focusing on what feels good for you. Not worrying about how deep you go into the pose. But where it feels good in your body. You're welcome to stay right where you are, or you can release your right hand to the ground. Release your left hand to the ground. We'll open our chest and then inhale that right arm up. Bend the left knee and reach back to grab that left foot. Pulling it close towards your glutes. Noticing the sensations you might be feeling. You can slowly start to release the left foot. We'll walk the right foot over towards our left hand and then drop the knee down to your right wrist. We're going to come into pigeon's pose. So if you need to, you can walk that left leg out and then start to walk your hands out away from you, dropping your head to the floor. Taking a moment here to settle into the pose. Breathing into the pose. Start to push yourself up, bringing your hands close to your body. We'll untuck the left toes, lifting the knee off the ground, and then bring the right leg to meet the left leg in a plank position. Lower down to your low push-up, inhaling to an upward dog or cobra, exhaling to a downward facing dog. Spreading your fingers wide. Your heels drift towards the ground. Your chest towards your thighs. We'll inhale that left leg up. Bend the knee, step it to the outside of your left hand. We'll come into lizard's pose on the left side, maybe opening up that left hip, coming onto the pinky side of your left foot. Keeping your chest open here. Anytime you catch your mind wandering, just let it come and go and continue to focus on your breath. Again, if you want to stay right here, you're more than welcome to, or you can come up to your hands. We'll inhale that left arm up, reach back and grab your right foot. Pulling it in close. Maybe your gaze goes over that left shoulder. Slowly release the right foot. We'll start to walk that left foot over towards the right hand and then drop your left knee down. Coming into pigeon pose, walking your hands out, leading with your heart, bringing your forehead all the way to the ground. Feeling the ground beneath you. Allowing your body to relax deeper and deeper into the stretch. Slowly start to come up. We'll bring the left knee to meet the right knee. And then bring your heart down to the ground, walk your hands out. We'll come into puppy pose. So keeping your hips off your heels. You can either set your forehead on the ground, maybe your chin, and look through your hands. And then you can come all the way down to your bellies. Extending your legs long. We're going to interlace our hands behind our back. And then inhale your chest up. If you feel comfortable, you can inhale your thighs off the ground. Gazing towards the ceiling. And then slowly release. Release your arms by your side, your ear to the ground. And then we'll bend the knees. and we'll grab our ankles. If this is too much for you, you can just bend the knees, maybe rocking them from side to side, or grabbing the ankles, pulling your knees closer together, and we're gonna come into bow pose. So inhaling the chest up, maybe inhaling the thighs off the ground, gazing towards the sky. And then releasing the thighs to the ground, maybe releasing the hands under your head, and then just windshield wipering your legs. And you can release your legs to the ground. We'll come into Sphinx pose. So bringing your forearms to the ground, your hands, palms face down to the ground, and your elbows directly under your shoulders. We'll inhale, opening the chest. Your gaze is towards the sky. And then you can slowly release the back bend. We're going to bend our right knee, bringing our knee towards that right elbow. Grab it with your left hand, and then extend your right arm out towards the right. If it's comfortable for you, your gaze can follow. For a little spinal twist, it's really good to release any back pain or back tension. And then you can slowly come back to center, releasing the right leg long, coming back into that Sphinx position. This time we'll bend the left knee, bringing left knee to left elbow, grabbing it with our right hand, and then extending our left arm out. If it's too much for your neck to gaze past those left fingertips, you can just gaze towards the sky or towards the right, whatever feels best for you. Slowly coming back to center, releasing the left leg, and then coming onto your knees, pushing back into child's pose. And you can come to a seated position. We'll extend our legs long, flexing our toes towards our face, and then inhale, reach for the sky. Exhale to fold, either grabbing your feet, your toes, even your calves. You're welcome to bend your knees a lot here, or keep them straight. Maybe gazing past your toes. And you can exhale, release, coming back to seated. And then we'll bring the left foot on the inside of that right thigh. Inhaling our arms up. Exhaling to fold over that right leg, grabbing the foot or the toes. Exhaling to release. From here, we're going to bring the left hand right behind us, and we're going to lift up into a modified wild thing. So you're going to lift your hips up, keeping your knee and your right foot grounded, and then raising that arm overhead. Exhaling to release. Extending your left leg, and then pulling that right foot up to the inner thigh. We'll inhale our arms up. Exhale to fold. Exhaling to release. Taking that right hand behind you, lifting up into that modified wild thing. And then slowly exhaling, setting the hips back down. And then we'll come on to our backs. Bringing the knees towards the sky, the soles of the feet on the ground. And we're going to lift into bridge. So inhaling your hips up, walking your shoulders underneath you, and maybe interlacing your fingers. Being sure not to move your head or your neck in this position. Feeling as if there's a string attached to your hips, pulling your hips towards the sky. And then you can slowly exhale, release. Maybe hug your knees into your chest. And then setting your feet back down to the ground. We'll bring our feet towards the sky, extending our legs. You're welcome to stay here, or you can come up into shoulder stand, bringing your hands to your lower back, the soles of your feet towards the sky. And if you want, you can start to bring your feet behind your head, or maybe bending the knees if that feels better for you. Slowly rolling all the way down onto your backs, keeping the knees bent. And we'll take the right foot on top of that left thigh, interlacing our hands behind the left thigh, and then releasing your head and your shoulders back down to the ground, coming into supine pigeon. Taking a few moments here, allowing your breath to slow down, maybe keeping the eyes soft or closing them. Release your left foot to the ground, and you're welcome to allow your knees to drop to the right, or you can grab a hold of your left ankle with your left hand and then drop your knees to the right. Maybe this right arm comes above the head. Exhale, start to come back to center, releasing the right foot down to the ground, changing sides, bringing that left foot on top of the right thigh, interlacing your hands behind the right thigh, releasing your head and your shoulders back down to the ground, flexing your toes. Maybe noticing how each side might feel a little differently. Maybe one side is a little tighter than the other side. Focusing on your breath. And then releasing the right foot down to the ground. Again, either dropping your knees to the left or grabbing onto that right foot. Releasing your knees to the left. Maybe your left arm comes overhead. To come back to center, releasing your legs, and we'll come into happy baby. Grabbing the outsides of your feet, your elbows on the insides of your knees, maybe rocking from side to side. Maybe extending one leg, maybe extending both legs. Slowly release your feet to the ground. We'll butterfly our feet, bringing the soles of our feet together. Maybe the hands on the insides of the thighs. Just taking a moment here. welcome to stay right where you are, or you can begin to extend your legs long, maybe mat width distance apart, coming into Shavasana, releasing your hands. And taking a moment here, letting go of control of your breath. Letting go of control of your body. And letting go of control of your mind. Noticing thoughts as they flow in and as they flow right back out. Feeling the expansion and the contractions of your belly and your chest. Lengthening on the inhales and sinking deeper on the exhales. Releasing any tension in the body. Feeling the ground as it supports you. Maybe noticing the benefits that today's practice has had on you. To deepen your breath. Maybe begin wiggling the fingers and toes. And maybe raising your arms above your head, bringing your knees to your chest, and then bringing your arms around your legs, hugging your knees in towards your chest, and then making your way onto one side of your body, meeting in the fetal position. Taking a moment here. And whenever you're ready, you can come up to a comfortable seated position, keeping the eyes closed, and maybe placing the hands on the knees for a moment. Sitting tall, and finding this time to appreciate yourself. Appreciate yourself for showing up today. Taking a few more rounds of breath to round out today's practice. And then bringing the hands to heart center, bowing the head. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings be free from any suffering. Thank you for practicing with me today with love and kindness. Namaste.